Hey fellow lyricorns, I'm Clifford Summy, the Pop Song Professor, and welcome to my channel where we explain, create, and sometimes roast song lyrics. Today we're talking about Billie Eilish's new song, Everything I Wanted. She just released it like 9 hours ago, so it's a brand new song as of the time of recording this video, and we're going to be talking exactly what it means. We're going to break down each of the lines, and we're going to go through it. So there's already a lot that we need to consider in this case because Billie Eilish seems to be doing something that a lot of artists have started doing recently, and that's, recognizing that albums just don't sell as well as they used to, and really what it's all about is streaming. And so in a lot of ways, artists are becoming more like content creators like me, where you kind of have to keep up a regular presence and be putting out regular videos so that your audience stays alert and awake to what you're doing. Billie Eilish is doing an excellent job of that. The past couple of projects that she put out have been, preceded by a bunch of little songs, and some would call them singles, but it seems to me that she just kind of puts out music as she creates it, and then eventually those songs that she put out are part of an album now. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that as far as like the marketing and everything goes, but she has put out this most recent song, Everything I Wanted, in collaboration with her brother, who goes by Phineas, and there's a lot to break down in the song because ultimately the song is actually kind of about Phineas. So let's go ahead and jump into verse 1 here. She says, I had a dream, I got everything I wanted, which, if you're a young pop star like she is, I mean, she's got tons of money. She's one of the most currently listened to people on Spotify. Last I checked, she had 45 million monthly listeners, which is higher than 21 Pilots, Taylor Swift, and just about everybody else that I checked. So it's insane. She's super popular right now. And she says, not what you'd think, and if I'm being honest, it might have been a nightmare. So in this dream situation, she's having this nightmare in which she has everything she wanted, and she says it might have been a nightmare to anyone who might care. So a lot of you guys are just looking at my success and being like, you're so wealthy, you're so happy, and nobody's really caring that maybe this isn't actually what she wanted, or it's not as great as she thought it would be. She says, thought I could fly, so I stepped off the golden. Now, April's talked to me about dreams that she had when she was a young kid, April being my wife, where she thought she could fly and she would jump, and one time she did, and she split her chin open. It was pretty intense. And so this kind of a dream is apparently something that multiple people at least have. So she's gonna step off the Golden Gate Bridge, which she says thought I could fly, but a lot of the discussion of the song suggests that she's actually committing suicide in this case. She says thought I could fly, so I stepped off the golden, which leaves it up for interpretation a little bit. Like, is this just her being confused, or is this actually suicide? Because the Golden Gate Bridge is apparently a popular place to commit suicide. She says nobody cried. We're assuming that she died in this scenario because she couldn't fly. She says nobody even noticed. I saw them standing right there, kind of thought they might care, which is really sad. She could be talking about fans, friends, family, everybody. And then we'll go ahead and jump into the verse 2, and we'll come back to the pre-chorus and chorus because that's kind of what sews the whole thing up at the end. In verse 2, she says, I tried to scream, to ask for help, to try to get somebody to save her, but my head was underwater. They called me weak, and that's probably them referring to the suicide. She says, like I'm not just somebody's daughter. This line is really confusing, and I've spent like 5 minutes just sitting there staring at it thinking, like I'm not just somebody's daughter, and I'm not able to figure this one out, because usually when we refer to somebody not being just someone's daughter, there's like this argument where people will say, like guys will say, hey, you shouldn't, be sexually aggressive or sexually abusive to this person because she's somebody's daughter, as if though the reason we should be nice to people is because of the men that they're related to in their life, which is the language that she uses here. But she's saying they called me weak, like I'm not just somebody's daughter, and it's like they did something mean, like because of this bad reason, and it doesn't quite make sense. But she's related to somebody. That's what I've got out of that. If you have a better explanation, that is one of the more confusing lines here that I've not been able to find anyone else who can explain, and part of me just wonders if it's kind of a mistake or not completely well thought through. She says, could have been a nightmare, but it felt like they were right there. So this whole experience feels like it was a dream, but at the same time within the dream it felt so real, and it feels like yesterday was a year ago, yesterday being the time before the dream, so this dream feels like it's been forever, like it's a really long feeling dream she's been stuck in. And I don't want to let anybody know because everybody wants something from me now, and I don't want to let him down. Which is, like, this is why Billie Eilish is such a good lyric writer, because she just says what she feels. She talks about her own personal experience. She's real, she's honorable, vulnerable, she's honest about it. And she says, I don't want to let anybody know. I don't want to tell people about this dream because everything depends on her, right? There's like this whole team of people. There are people who are making their jobs, their livelihoods, supporting their families off of her ability to make music. Her family's depending on her. Her brother's depending on her to an extent. A lot of stuff is happening, and if she's like, I feel like I'm suicidal, or I'm so depressed, I really need to take a break, like that could be a lot of livelihood that a lot of other people could miss out on. And she says, I don't want to let them down. That's really intense, people. This feels like a cry for help. But her solution in all of this situation, and I'm going to go ahead and read a quote that she gave in an interview about the song, and then we'll look at the pre-chorus and chorus. She says, pretty much that whole song is about me and Phineas' relationship as siblings. We started writing it because I literally had a dream that I killed myself and nobody cared. And all of my best friends and people that I worked with basically came out in public and said like, oh, we never liked her. In the dream, the fans didn't care. The internet shit on me for killing myself, all this stuff, and it really did mess me up. I mean, the message behind the song is like, my brother is my best friend and I have these dreams and these things happen, and no matter what happens, he's gonna always be there for me, and it's the same the other way around, which is a really cool relationship. And honestly, I don't know the last time that I saw a song or anything really that was about the same kind of a theme, so it's really unique, and it's something that you don't really see a lot. Like if there's gonna be a male-female relationship, and even if you read what we're gonna read in the pre-chorus and chorus, you would think at first that it was a romantic relationship. Is she trying to be more commercially viable with the song? That doesn't really seem to be her thing, so I don't think so. But I mean, I can think of like Frozen, where the whole theme is like, sisters gotta have each other's back, right? But it's such a rare theme, and especially for a male-female relationship that's platonic and family-based. Like it's really exciting to me as somebody who explains song lyrics a lot, and I have to wade through so many songs that are about these really shallow, basically just sexual romantic relationships, and then to come across a song like this that's about something real, where she tells a real story, something that actually happened to her, gives her real feelings about it. I don't want to let anybody know because everybody wants something from me now. And then she has a solution, or she has the answer to it, that is an answer that like nobody ever gives. Who writes a song about a male-female brother-sister relationship? Like 99% of people who wrote this song, if they were anybody other than Billie Eilish, would be like, yeah, my girlfriend's got me, my boyfriend's got me, woohoo, and I wouldn't care. It would be so boring. But she's talking about this relationship that's older than most romantic relationships, because she and her brother have been friends for so long together, and they've grown up together, and most of these other romantic relationships are like, what, 3 months old, or maybe like 2 years old before people break up. So this is like a powerful, strong, actual relationship, and I think it's so cool. So here's what she says in the pre-chorus. I had a dream, I got everything I wanted, but when I wake up I see you with me. Now, wake up, see you with me, people would think a romantic relationship, but it is about her brother, and you might listen to that pre-chorus and be like, that sounds vaguely romantic, like they wake up in the same bed. I don't think that's the case at all. That's easily explainable. But when I wake up, I see you with me, and you can imagine like think of like a hospital room where somebody's in a coma and they wake up and their loved ones are around them. People are sitting there, and if you heard that growl in the background, that's Galaxy, who's apparently getting bored of this explanation. Galaxy being my dog. But when I wake up, I see you with me. It's just him maybe she's like thrashing and talking in her sleep or something, so he comes in to check on her or something like that. I mean, easy ways to explain that, especially because she said that it's about her brother. And then the chorus, and you say, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt you. Don't want to lie here, but you can learn to. If I could change the way that you see yourself, you wouldn't wonder why you're here. They don't deserve you. And that's her brother's words. That's her saying what her brother said. Listen to these again. And you say, as long as I'm here, no one can hurt you. Don't want to lie here, but you can learn to. If I could change the way that you see yourself, you wouldn't wonder why you're here. They don't deserve to. Powerful lyrics from an excellent songwriting team. Great lyrics, great music. This song is not super poppy or catchy. It's very thoughtful, very like soft, muted bedroom pop, and so I don't think it's going to be on any top charts or anything like that, but it's a good song and it's well worth listening to. So I recommend you guys go check check it out. I think there's a lyric video or an audio video on YouTube, and it's of course on Spotify. Very well worth it. And then when you're done with that, check out these other explanations of Billie Eilish. Here's Bury a Friend and Bad Guy. Thanks so much for, well, I guess more like that. There you go. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll talk to you next time.